Hello, this is C. J. McPherson, here with a discussion of one of my favorite subjects in War Machine Hordes, magic. Specifically, spell runes. It's a fact of the way magic works in the setting. And whenever someone casts a spell, there are accompanying symbols that show up around their arm, or sometimes torso. These are described sometimes as arcane formula. They're a manifestation of spells' effects. I've done some thinking about this, and I'm going to present you today a perspective on this that might be right and might not be right, but is certainly interesting. I think when someone has the gift of magic, which is a thing we know from the role-playing games, they have to do it. The gift of magic is in fact an innate talent for what we consider to be normal mathematics. People describe magical spells as formula, they have learned formula, or they're innately gifted with certain kinds of formula. And formula is a term for an equation in mathematics. Here's an example of how this works. I'm actually quite a talented mathematician. I'm skilled at counting and multiplying. These are things I'm good at, and there are other things I'm not good at. I count up in ones, a number of ones. I can actually multiply sevens very easily by other numbers by adding sevens repeatedly. It only takes a second or two to get a result, no matter how high the other number is. I'm good at counting up and not down. If I want to go down, I add backwards. If I want to divide, I multiply and find the remainder backwards. I'm really good at calculus. In fact, my job requires a lot of calculus to do. I'm not good at prime numbers. I cannot tell a prime number from a non-prime, as some people I know can. That's a different skill. I think the gift of magic is in fact a talent for mathematics. People started developing this with the help of the gods. I think different warcasters or different arcanists have specialties for different spells or elements because these are the kinds of mathematics that neatly make sense to them as a person. Here's some ideas of how this might work. Someone does a formula in their head and pushes out in the world alongside a reservoir of arcane energy, which we know is a thing commonly called focus. The world then manifests runes to shape this magic into a formula it makes sense of, and that happens in the world, almost like a computer language of sorts. Different kinds of mathematics, as I said, are likely different kinds of magic. Arcanism is likely parabolas, based on how good it is at range combat. Maybe some algebra thrown in. Sorcery, I'm guessing, is multiplication and division, quickly, on a scale of seconds or parts of a second, because it's good at making things more or less. Necromancy might be skill with negative numbers, which most people in early mathematician cultures were wary of or directly feared and did not understand. Warcaster talent might even be explained with this, with innate talent for calculus. Calculus requires a talent to do. You have to be good at it innately and it has to make sense to you before you learn it. I'm quite good at that. I guess it might make me a warcaster. Fun concept. Calculus requires doing many things at once in the same equation at the same time in your brain, and warcasters are known to be good at multitasking because they have to manage more than one word at once. Last main kind of mathematics I'm aware of is trigonometry. This one does not come up much in early cultures on Earth, and likely does not come up much in War Machine culture, but it might be what makes the magic of the enigmatic 2nd edition faction known as Cephalix so strange. Here's an interesting concept though. These people study mathematics at universities. They're obviously not very good at teaching that to people, or else they'd have more warcasters. You can learn calculus, even if you're not good at it, innately. And is there magic given as a gift from gods, like the magic of the Morwen priests or the Menite sorcerers? I don't know. Subject for a separate video. So different equations that give separate spells, as equations sorted into the kind of mathematics they rely on. And this might explain how magic works in the Iron Kingdoms. Might. Strongly might. One last question to ponder. Do they know what prime numbers are? To my knowledge, there are no calculation machines or difference engines like early Victorian culture tried to invent to do mathematics for them. There are no precursors of modern day computer at all. At all. They might not know what prime numbers are. And that's interesting. McPherson out.